Now to the reigning Camogie All-Ireland champions. I'm delighted to say we have manager Matthew Twomey and superstar Amy O'Connor with us this morning. You're both really welcome. Amy, how does that sound, All-Ireland champions?
Very nice. Yeah, I don't have much of a voice now today, so I apologise in advance.
No worries. What has the week been like for you?
Brilliant, chaos. It's fantastic. We were still going yesterday, rowing Hannah Looney down the Lee, so celebrations are in full swing.
Did you say you were rowing her down the Lee?
Yeah, that's what we did yesterday. So Hannah Looney's dream was to be rowed down the Lee with Theo Duffy. So we organised that for her yesterday, and it was a great laugh.
That sounds pretty amazing. Matthew, how's the week been for you?
Mental. Obviously there was a great turnout now when we came home. They meant an awful lot, but I just think I suppose the relief, the body now starting to feel it a bit now, just all the pressure that was been on for the last few weeks is just draining away now slowly, but look, super proud of all the players. It was a savage performance to have on the biggest day.
It was an incredible performance and everybody did what they were supposed to do. From your perspective as a manager, that's, I presume, a great relief, but there must have been, as you say, quite a lot of pressure when you're heavy favourites like that.
Yeah, I think we've been under pressure since the first round of the All-Ireland series. We got beaten by Galway. We've been under pressure, even on paper we probably should be beaten down with all due respect to them, but we were under fierce pressure. So game by game, the favourite tags coming into the final, I don't think we even referenced this. We had a good meeting last Friday, and I think the one performance we had this year that we were very, very disappointed was the Waterford game in the Munster Championship. We've lost 3 other games as well, but we thought we did okay in them games. It was just a conversion rate, but the Waterford game was a very, very poor performance by us, and we were able to use that as a spur for ourselves. We said to the players, I think since January, that there was someone who was going to get a hammering. We could see the way we were creating chances, but we just weren't taking them properly. But just on the last day, it's such a relief that they performed the way they should do in the biggest stage of them.
Did the players manage to use that narrative as well, Amy? Even losing 4 games in a row, and I guess people starting to say, do this Cork team still have it? Were you able to utilise that and kind of have that as extra motivation then for the latter parts of the season?
I suppose, to be honest, we didn't take any notice of outside narrative because, we trusted in what we were trying to do. And as Matthew said, there was probably only one game really where we played very poorly, and that was the Munster Championship game against Waterford. The other games we were beaten by Galway, but we did okay. And, for the first 20 minutes of the first round of the Championship, we were brilliant against Galway. So we kind of stuck to the process and really kind of, trusted in exactly what we were trying to do, and took no notice really outside because we knew it would come right in time. And it was just important to get the timing of that right. And I think we did that very well.
Did you feel that too, that the performance was coming, or was that management telling you and everybody believes it, or as players could you actually see that you were really close?
No, I suppose we've been promising a performance like that for a number of years, but particularly this year, we were building really well at the right time, and you could really feel it. And I suppose the confidence that was instilled in us as players because of the preparation that we'd done off the pitch, you could really feel it going into the Kilkenny quarter-final, the Galway semi-final, and then the final. We just felt extremely prepared for every single scenario that could have been thrown our way, and that's a huge testament to the management team that we've put in place, and also a testament to the effort of the girls that they've put in all year. We always knew that it would come, and we trusted that it would, and obviously last Sunday it did, which was brilliant.
I think, Matthew, there was was it yourself talking about speaking to Laura Tracy after the final last year and trying to, I guess, deal with the hurt and the pain and turn it into something useful. Was that on your mind heading into the final at the weekend, or even, those incidents of pain, and even I guess you'd have a number of defeats to Galway as well, which you managed to turn around in the semi. So are those little things that you managed to utilise as well?
Definitely. There was the way we lost the game last year in the final, it was cruel. I remember going into the media room afterwards, and it was Laura Tracy came in with me, and it was horrific. But even when we came back down to Cork, it's a different animal. You're just shunned off away from the train station up to the Piercies who looked after us greatly. To be fair to them, but the losses this year as well were tough because I suppose people questioned. We tried to keep away from the players as much as we could, but the people questions the players' character, and that didn't sit with me at all because. I've never doubted their character. We'd see them day in, day out, and the way they perform and the way that they train and everything like that, and themselves prepared. But like you come into the final, there's always something in the back of your head. What if, like, you know, and you're trying to quell that as much as you can. You know, that was only my personal thing. Like I don't think the players had it, but I was saying it. I was putting myself under ferocious pressure, I suppose. And you're just worrying that they didn't perform to their ability, and that was my fear. You know, I knew if we performed to our ability, we would have been thereabouts in the end. And you can't ask for more than a team in that then as well. But that was the worry I had coming into it.
Have you become better at dealing with that, even Matthew, as a manager, like the pressure and trying to utilise it in the right way? I guess, as you said, probably now towards the end of this week it'll all kind of come to a head because you're realising what you've achieved. But that pressure is something you clearly have been able to manage a little bit better.
Yeah, look, I suppose last year, look, Davy Fitz was involved with us, so he would have taken a lot of that kind of flack off me, to be fair to him. Like, and you know, his coaching last year like set us up big time this year. But I like the head coach this year was Liam Cronin from Limerick, and like the man is a genius. Like I've never, you know, I think we were clone of each other anyway. The way our thoughts were at the start of the year. But he would have helped me out a lot. But like, I suppose at the end of the day, like I was the one facing the cameras and facing the media, like, and that kind of pressure was tough. But look, you get kind of used to it, I suppose, as you go on, because you're just trying to. My main concern was looking after the players and making sure they were right. And look, everyone in the management had a massive thing in that, like, and you know, it's massive credit to all of them.
Amy, it is an incredible redemption story, and look, it's Cork, so obviously the expectation is that you're going to be contesting All-Ireland semi-finals and finals year in, year out, top of the roll of honour again. At the same time, any group who loses successive All-Ireland finals would be forgiven for, like, okay, I've had enough of this now. I don't really need to volunteer for all this hurt and pain. And even the way the season went, and then for you to face Galway, who'd beaten you in a final, and Kilkenny who'd beaten you in a final in the quarters and semis. Like, if you were scripting it, everybody would be like, no, this is all a little bit too cliched here. What kept you going? Why did everybody come back this year?
I suppose genuine love of the game and the desire to win again. You know, it's been 4 years in Cork. That's a famine for us, essentially, and I know people might laugh at that, but it was. And there's a cohort of us that came into the panel, you know, around 2014, 2013, and we came into like winning 4 All-Irelands in 5 years. And you know, over the last 4 years, we were kind of saying, what is going on here? You know, we're not winning. What's happening? And just to share another desire to win again and have that feeling, you know, even if it is just for those 20 seconds after the final whistle goes in an All-Ireland final. But I suppose over the last couple of years we've been building a really good group, and it has taken us until now to build that group. You know, it wasn't something that happened over time, and you know, we've some exceptional characters within the team, and you know, it's just nice to go training 4, 5, 6 times a week with people who have the same goal. You know, we all wanted just one thing, and we were so focused on that, and I think that makes it a lot easier then to come back.
Tell me, Amy, how do you manage to score a hat-trick in an All-Ireland final and not realise it until afterwards? How does that happen?
I suppose because everything happens so quickly, and you're just so focused on the next thing, because that's what we've been doing, especially towards the latter end of the year. And I was on the pitch and I was looking up the scoreboard, and I think it was 4-7 at one stage, and I was trying to figure out to myself, like, who scored the fourth, you know, in my head, trying to work it out. So yeah, I don't know how it happened, but just delighted it didn't really matter who scored on the day. And I know that's so cliche, but you know, Fiona Keating put it on a plate for me, Katrina Mackey put it on a plate for me, so no, we're just delighted.
It'll be tough to top that as a career highlight.
Yeah,
presumably.
2-minute hat-trick in an All-Ireland final. It is absolutely the stuff of dreams.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose if you asked me last week to write out my dream scenario, I probably wouldn't have even went that far. You know, I would have been just happy to get over the line even if I didn't touch the ball. So yeah, no, stuff of dreams, definitely.
Am I right in saying you're not from a senior club, so it's kind of an unusual path to get to where you are now?
Yeah, I'm from Vincent, so we're a junior club in the city, and basically the ruling in Cork, I suppose, is that the senior county champions get to select a captain. So for years it was never going to be possible for me to captain Cork, but a couple of years ago they entered a divisional team which allowed all of the junior and intermediate clubs in the city play in the senior championship, and we've won 2 in a row, so that kind of put me forward to be eligible to be the captain. So yeah, a bit of an unusual path, but it was really nice, yeah.
And tell us what it means for Knocknaheeny as well to have the All-Ireland winning captain strolling around the streets.
It's a bit crazy. So we had a great reception up in Vincent's last Sunday or last Monday. I'd say that the whole of Knocknaheeny turned out to welcome us home, and it was brilliant. And obviously we had Denise, in the World Cup a couple of weeks ago, which is phenomenal for an area like ours to have two big sporting events like we've had in the last few weeks. And it's brilliant for the children in the area. When I was on the way to St. Vincent's the other night, we stopped off where I live, and there was kids who would never have had a hurley in their hands had a hurley in their hands. So it was really nice, and it's brilliant for the area. And it's nice to get some good press for the area for a change, because 9 times out of 10 it's probably bad things written in the papers about Knocknaheeny and Churchfield and all these areas. So it's really nice.
But it is a real sporting hotbed of absolute Cork talent, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, it's brilliant for the area. And, obviously, Roy Keane is from the north side, Tomas Mulcahy is from the north side. So we're very proud of it, and it's just brilliant for the area.
You'd have played underage soccer with Katie McCabe, I think, at under-19s level as well. Amy, was it a difficult choice for you, the Gaelic football, the hurling, or the Camogie rather, and the soccer? Was it a choice to make?
I thought it was at the time, but it wasn't. So I suppose how it all unfolded was we were playing an All-Ireland final, and we had a qualifier in Sweden at the same time. So my choice was, do I play an All-Ireland final or do I go to Sweden and play a qualifier? And at the time I thought it was really difficult, and I remember kind of, crying before I made that decision. But when I look back, it was the easiest decision I ever had to make, because I just love Camogie, and I probably never had the same love for soccer. I just played it, and the joy that I get when I play Camogie, it's incomparable. I suppose I do think of the what ifs, and it's hard not to, especially when the girls were in the World Cup this year, and everywhere you look, their faces are there, and it just reminds you of exactly what could have been. But no, very, very happy with my decision, and no regrets, and definitely no regrets. I absolutely love playing Camogie, and I suppose after what we've achieved over the last week, it just kind of makes it all the more special.
Yeah, of course. Matthew, it's a good point that the visibility of the women's football team, primarily because of the ad campaign that Sky have run. Glenn Dimblex have done a great job, but there's still a bit of extra marketing to do to let the whole country know about the exploits of Amy and her colleagues as well. As somebody who's centrally involved and stuck in the middle of it, what's your view on how we can accelerate the progress of the sport at the moment?
Well, I suppose it was highlighted a lot during the year. We've 4 girls who work with dual players, and the 2 associations couldn't even agree to. We 3 dual clashes like that. We had to pick 2 players each between myself and Shane Renee in the football, and there was one time that I think that Orla Carlan was injured, and we'd only 3 players, so we had 1 each, and we're going to toss for the 3rd. That's not done any good to the women's game. Just didn't even have an opportunity to play the Camogie and the football. But look, it's great. There was a record crowd there Sunday. It's fantastic. But we played down during the year. We probably about 200-300 people watching the game, and that's what it needs. It needs a push like that. It's as Amy said there. It's massive for obviously Knocknaheeny and all that area, but it's massive for all the young kids in Cork as well. My own club in Douglas, they're absolutely buzzing now as well, because they've the 2 Mackies are from our club as well. So it's just they need to push that on. What the women's soccer that has got ferocious exposure for the girls, and Denise, obviously around the corner from Amy, it's fantastic.
Would your coaching journey, it's an incredible achievement as well, Matthew, to be an All-Ireland winning coach. Was your idea as a kid, even your teenage years, to always get into coaching? I know your career, for example, would have been cut short, your playing career. So was that the turning point?
It was, yeah. It's actually 30 years ago this month. I was just thinking to me yesterday, 30 years ago this month, I had to get a lump taken on my head, and that was the end of my hurling career. I was lucky down in Douglas, they pushed me into the coaching. There was some great lads down there that just got me involved, just to get me out of the house and all that kind of stuff. And it took off from there. I went the full way with Douglas up to senior hurling, and then I got involved with the senior Camogie team in Douglas 1 year, Michael O'Regan, and with Teddy O'Donovan, actually one of the lads with us in the management as well. And we won the county, and I got a phone call in 2014 to get involved with the Cork Camogie team to train them, and look, that was unbelievable. We won the All-Ireland in the first year, and look, there's been ups and downs and highs and lows with all that as well over the years. But look, it's a massive honour. It's something to answer your question. It was being Cork Camogie manager over my radar. No, it wasn't. I can tell you that straight. But when it fell into my lap, I couldn't turn it down. So obviously the last 2 years have been very time consuming and very hard going. But look, just that feeling on Sunday. You know, it was 6:30, whatever time it was. It was unbelievable.
Does this give you, like, as you're saying, it's the pinnacle of Camogie in this country course, but do you have the appetite now to climb the mountain again, or is it the type of thing that you say, well, Jesus, I don't want to do that again, that was tough?
I suppose, you know, when you just finish it for the year, it's I suppose, look, when myself, Maria and the kids are going away on Monday to France or a holiday, like, and that's my goal now, just to get over there and just try and, as I say, like, I would have put a lot of pressure on myself because there was a lot of stuff going on, and I just, you know, I'm looking forward now to having, you know, that I can put my head down and actually sleep a bit, you know, and that's what I'm looking forward to now. And look, we will chat again in a couple of weeks to see where we go.
Well, listen, enjoy whatever's coming next for both of you. It's an incredible achievement, and congratulations. And thanks a million for making the time for us this morning.
Thank you very much, lads.
Thanks, Pete.
Cheers.